Yes! Hey, how are you all? I was just playing this really fun game. Want to know what it was about? Well, it was a treasure hunt game. We had to find out where the treasure was located. But in order to do so, we had to solve a round of questions related to coordinate geometry. I won the game with a little to no effort. I'm sure you would have won too, since we have already studied various concepts around coordinate geometry. Why don't we recall it together? Let us start from the beginning. Coordinate geometry helps us locate the position of a point on a plane. And to do so, we need coordinate axes. Do you remember what coordinate axes are? Take a look at this figure. The lines XOX dash and YOY dash are two mutually perpendicular lines meeting at point O. The horizontal line XOX dash is called the x-axis. The vertical line YOY dash is called the y-axis. And the point of intersection of both the axes is called the origin. And this x and y axis together are known as the coordinate axis. The plane that contains the coordinate axis is known as the coordinate plane or Cartesian plane. Now, let us place numbers on both the axes. On the x-axis, all the positive numbers lie on the right of the origin and all the negative numbers lie on the left of the origin. Similarly, on the y-axis, all the positive numbers lie above the origin and all the negative numbers lie below the origin. These numbers on both the axes are the key to identify and mark the coordinates of any point on the coordinate plane. Now, let us recall how to do that. The position of a point in the coordinate plane is determined with reference to the coordinate axis. Any point on the coordinate plane can be represented by an ordered pair of the numbers x, y. Here, x is the x-coordinate or abscissa of a point and y is the y-coordinate or ordinate of the point. Together, they are known as the coordinates of the point that it represents. But do you remember what these x and y coordinates of a point are? What is their significance? Let us have a look at it quickly. Consider this point P x, y. Now, let us consider two perpendiculars drawn from the point P to the x and y axis. Let both the perpendiculars meet the x-axis at point A and the y-axis at point B. So, PA is the distance of point P from the x-axis. The length of PA will be equal to the absolute value of y. Thus, the perpendicular distance of a point from the x-axis is equal to the absolute value of its y-coordinate. Similarly, PB represents the distance of point P from the y-axis. So, the length of PB is equal to the absolute value of x. Therefore, we can say that the perpendicular distance of a point from the y-axis is equal to the absolute value of its x-coordinate. Talking about coordinates of points, what can you say about the y-coordinates of all the points on the x-axis and the x-coordinates of all the points on the y-axis? Correct. The y-coordinate of all the points on the x-axis is 0 and the x-coordinate of all the points on the y-axis is also 0. For example, point 2 here on the positive x-axis has coordinates 2, 0 and the point -4 on the negative x-axis will have coordinates -4, 0. Similarly, the coordinates of point 1 on the positive y-axis is 0, 1 and the point -2 on the negative y-axis will have coordinates 0, -2. That was great. But do you remember the coordinates of origin? That's correct. It is 0, 0. Now that we have seen coordinates of points, let us recall how to mark these points. Let us say we have to mark a point A, -3, 2. The first thing to notice is that the x-coordinate of point A is -3. So, locate -3, 0 on the x-axis. Then, draw a line perpendicular to the x-axis passing through the point -3, 0. Next, the y-coordinate of point A is 2. So, on the y-axis, locate the point 0, 2. Draw a line perpendicular to the y-axis passing through the point 0, 2. Now if you observe, both the perpendicular lines meet at this point. This point represents point A, -3, 2. And that is how we plot a point on the coordinate axis. Good job.